Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I wanted to highlight the benefits of a program called Descript for podcasters and editors, whether they be just audio editors or video editors. Now, specifically, I'm going to be focusing on the audio portion today, but know that the things that I'm working on and presenting can also be applied to the video side of things as well. And for my money's worth, Descript is just a phenomenal program that really expedites a lot of the process. And I'll show you what I mean. So here I am on the screen that I made a folder for my podcast, Phil Svitek Podcast. And there's nothing in here, right? So what I'm going to first do is go ahead and create a new project. And I'll just call this test just for the sake of it, right? And I'll go ahead and create that project. So when it creates that, you have the ability to drop in audio or video to transcribe, right? So, and right off the bat, getting a transcription is beneficial on so many levels, right? When I did my first feature film and I needed to do the closed captioning for it, I got it transcribed. And then from there, just edited that transcription. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to drop in a piece of audio. So this is one of my episodes, and you'll get something like this. Now you can drop in multiple tracks of audio. Right now I just dropped in one track of audio. However, you can drop in 2 tracks of audio, 3 tracks of audio, and so forth, and create a multi-track, no different than you would an audio editing program like Audition, Pro Tools, and so forth, right? And the cool part about it is you can label each track what you want. So, in this case, if I just wanted to call my, I'll just write Phil, and then boom, done, right? So depending on the length of, the audio recording, as well as, if it's a WAV file, an MP3 file, it uploads it into your cloud account. So it may take a little bit, right? So I've just got one track, and it's a 22-minute and 55-minute audio recording. It's a WAV file, so shouldn't necessarily take that long, but it'll now it's transcribing it. So the transcription, again, same thing. It depends on the length and the number of tracks, as well as the quality of the recording. Which, by the way, the better the audio quality in general, right? Whether it's, having a higher quality format, so like a WAV file, anything above anything at 44.1 kilohertz or above, great. And, not having on like the AC in the background and yada, 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 yada. All that stuff just makes the transcription that much better in terms of it being able to understand. And one of the benefits of this program is that it does get better with, it's like artificial learning, right? It starts to get better in terms of its understanding of what's been transcribed. So right now we're about 90%, and we're coming in, 99, and soon we should be completed. And here it is, right? Here is my transcription of my vlog. And so it kind of breaks it up into various paragraphs and so forth. One of the benefits is no matter where you go, you can kind of just start playing from there.
Where it's both a mission and my pleasure to highlight my creative journey.
And listen back to it and see, how it all sounds. Now, one of the big reasons why I use this is automatically, if I wanted to take out stuff, I can do so, right? I can highlight something and I could just click delete, and boom, it's gone in terms of editing and so forth, right? If I wanted to take out this line, same thing, boom, get rid of it, right? So it allows me to do content edits very quickly because it's a lot easier to edit, at least for me, text than it is audio, certainly for the big picture stuff, right? So I'll just, make believe like I'm doing some content edits and taking out certain lines and yada, yada. Now, so that's a benefit of it, right? And the same thing can apply to video as well. You can be doing this with video essentially. So all I'm doing by doing that is making the cuts within this piece of content. right? That's the beautiful part. Now, a lot of times, especially with audio and video, there are filler words. So what I can do easily is I can click here, this tool, and I can find all the filler words. And now, not only that, I can define what are the filler words that I'm looking for. You know, is it repeated words? Is it you see? Is it you know? Is it sort of, so, right? You know, all these different things. Generally, for the stuff that I try to do, you know, it depends what I'm sort of looking for. But let's say in this case, I'm looking for us and ums, right? So in that case, I'll select those and it'll automatically find all the instances. And what I'll go ahead and I'll do is I'll hit delete and apply to all. Now, of course, you can ignore certain ones or so forth, and I'll go ahead and delete that. So now it'll automatically, so now it deleted 160 selections of ums in that transcript, and it's optimizing it now. Part of what it's doing is, you know, it got rid of all this stuff, so it's optimizing the edits. Now, admittedly, I don't use this program for that because the optimization and so forth that it does, frankly, isn't that great. So instead, what I use this for is to just speed through my edit, do the content stuff, get rid of filler words that I need to. Also, I should point out that, you know, as you're going through stuff, you can also search for stuff. So let's say I'm looking for the word vlog, or let's say I'm looking for the word forward. You know, here's all the instances where I say the word forward, and I can be like, oh, here it is. Here's the one that I'm looking for. Anyway, so as this continues to optimize, just kind of onto the next stage, let's say like I've gone through this entire thing and made the big edits that I want, right? The quick edits and so forth. What I'm going to do is click share. And instead of doing any of this stuff, what I'm going to do is click export. And here I can export it to whatever it is that I want. You know, so if it was a video, I would, let's say, want to export it to Adobe Premiere. But since it's audio, I want to export it as Adobe Audition. Now, if I had Pro Tools or Logic, I can do that. I can also do Final Cut and so forth, right? But for me, I'm focused on Adobe Audition. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, right? And here you have some options here of what you want to export it as. You know, and you could say include media files and export, create track for each file. I'll go ahead and do that for myself. And I'll just throw it into here, export it, and it takes not that long, truthfully, just I don't know, half a minute or so. Again, all depends on the length of your transcript, your files, and yada, 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 right? So boom, it's done. I'm gonna click open. This opens up, you know, where it went to. So I'm gonna double click the Adobe Audition session so you can see. And here's Adobe launching. Now, one of the things I will admittedly say, like it puts it into like this weird voiceover track, and I don't know, for some reason, I don't quite know how to like utilize it in that sense where it's just not as like my default sessions. So instead, what I'll literally do is I'll just kind of, you know, go here, and for myself, I'll make a new project. We'll just call it Testo 1. And this has my other, you know, default settings that I like. And what I'll do is I'll just copy this and I'll delete it from here and into here. Now, what it did was, in its optimization, it lowered everything. So what I'll automatically do is I'll just go into properties and make sure it's back up to clip gain of 0. Now you can see here, you know, it's got the edits and so forth, and I tried to optimize them. But generally what I'll go do and just kind of crossfade them, you know, and what I'll do is I'll listen back to it to make sure it all sounds good, and then make sure that that there are no harsh cuts. Like right there kind of looks like a harsh cut. So what I might do, and again, I'm not really listening to it right now, but I would, you know, so something like that, what may end up being the final result. And so I'll kind of do that. Now you may be wondering, like, why use Descript in this way? Well, as I said, overall, look at all these edits automatically. This is, it got rid of 160 times that I said the word in this. And it got rid of the content stuff that I was getting rid of, right? So for example, at the beginning of an episode, you might have just banter. At the end, you might have banter. So automatically you can get rid of that. Throughout it, if someone flubs, you can take that out. Like I said, for me, it's a lot easier to take things out of a text document versus Adobe Audition. Plus, in general, this allows people that aren't editors per se, but are like producers and so forth, to go through and make the edits that they would want, and then an editor, or someone you hire, something like that, could go through and just make the final pass of it and clean it up, and focus on that instead of all the different things. And, that'll make their life easier. And if you're hiring someone, it'll make it that much cheaper because you're not, you're paying them for this one specific thing, and it's a lot faster, right? So to me, there's just a lot of benefits with Descript. Overall, it's not that expensive for a yearly membership, all things considered, at least for me when I utilize it so heavily. And the wonderful thing, as I said, it does audio and it does video. So I really see this as a tool that just continues to grow and grow, and will be just so beneficial. But I'm curious, from your perspective, like, what did you see that resonates with you? If you have been using it, what are some other tricks that you've been putting it through that I might not be aware of? Let me know. You can hit me up in the comments section or on social media at Svitek. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and hope to see you next time.